Hi, it's Stephen here from Son of a Nation Wave, and this is day 2 of the May daily draws as we close out the week and approach the weekend. Let's see what message we get, and I'll be taking the first card from the Druidcraft Tarot, followed by an oracle card from the Seasons of the Witch Beltane Oracle. So let's choose our first card and get the reading underway. Okay, here we go. We have the Hanged Man, and this is about getting into the right perspective, changing our perspective. And it means being willing to put ourselves in the position to see things from that new perspective. And sometimes it's uncomfortable to move our perspective to a new one because we're used to looking at issues and things a certain way, and it becomes familiar and comforting to us. But sometimes when we're creating something new in our eyes, when we're going on to the next stage, in order to do that, we need to perhaps see things a little bit differently than what we have in the past. And that means a change of perspective. That means getting insight that you can only get from that new perspective. So you need to change your position. You know, he's literally doing it physically, he's at peace with that. He accepts that need and does it. It may be it probably initially uncomfortable, but he does it because he knows he's going to benefit from it. Likewise, when we too may find it a little bit uncomfortable, at least at first, to change that perspective, because it's something new to us, it's not familiar, so we feel a little bit insecure with this new perspective. It's not what we're used to. But if we persevere with it, then that new perspective will bring to us some new kind of insight that we wouldn't have gotten otherwise. There's going to be key to unlocking the next stage that we want to get to. So maybe there are things we need to look at a bit differently than what we have been doing. And as I say, it may be feel a little bit odd, a little bit uncomfortable initially, but if we accept at least that it's something we need to do and do our best to get into that position, then eventually we'll gain that new perspective and we'll get the payoff of the insight that we need to move forward. But it comes with a decision to be willing to do that. We have to choose to be willing to do that, and be ready to change. So that's the challenge for us today as we finish this week and approach the weekend, is to think about some of the issues that we feel that we may have not wrong views on, the wrong perspective on, but outdated. It's not relevant to us anymore. That how life is changing to the degree that what worked for us once from a perspective point of view is changing, and that means our perspective changes with it, because we're moving into a different vantage point. And a different vantage point always gives you a new perspective. We're going to a different place. So we're looking from a different angle. When you position yourself differently, you gain a new perspective. When you're down on the ground, you can only see so much. Okay? But if you go and climb up a hill and look out, you can see a lot more of the terrain before you than you did when you were down lower on the ground. You changed your physical position and you gained a new perspective. So it's that kind of, we don't have to physically climb a hill unless that's what's required. But what it means is we have to be willing to even metaphorically change our vantage point, we're still looking at the same thing, but we're seeing it in a different way and seeing perhaps more of it than we did before. And that's where the extra insight comes into play. So that's why we need to be at least be open to changing our perspectives and moving our perspectives a little, at least, to be able to see something new. Okay, let's see which oracle card we get to go with that. Okay, here we go. Goddess. A bit more of the feminine energy. Make sure you feel it in your bones, for you are what you believe. The overflowing cup here. But it ties in with, but you have to, when you get the new perspective, you have to feel it in your bones. It has to be when you get the insight, you'll feel it in your bones, because it'll match what you really truly believe. Because maybe your current perceptions are not totally aligned with what you deep down believe or what you see spiritually. Your perceptions of what perhaps the world has taught you to look at it as, but when you align more with how you should be seeing it, then it will ring true. You will have that confirmation inside that, yes, that this makes sense to me now. So gaining this new perspective, when you get it right, you'll feel it within you. That's how you'll know that you've gotten to the right vantage point, because you'll see something and it'll connect with you within. So that's what we're aiming for. So let's be ready to gain any new perspective we can, new vantage point that we can, as we look at the issues, and be ready to feel it in our bones, to feel it within our very souls, because we embody what we truly believe. And if our beliefs change through the new insight, then it will affect us as well. We will become that new belief. We will embody that belief, because the two are tied together. Okay, so that is today's message. I'll be back tomorrow with day 3. Until then, thank you for listening. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all again very soon. Okay, bye-bye.